Proton E-Mars 7 intelligence that electrifies. Real. जमघट जहाँ रियल पार्टी पैक त्यहाँ नयाँ गुड नाइट फ्लैश और लिक्विड वेपोराइजर भन्दा 2 गुना बढी प्रभावशाली.
Proud to be associated with Kantipur News.
Good evening, I am Ipulagi Singh Lama and these are the headlines of the hour. Cabinet appoints economist Biswanath Paudel as the 18th governor of the Nepal Rastra Bank. Paudel brings experience from international institutions like the ILO. Businesses import 10,000 electric vehicles in the last 10 months amid concerns about possible tax hikes. Claim that imports meet growing consumer demand. UK suspends Israel talks and summons the Israeli ambassador over intolerable Gaza offensive. UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy says the war is entering a dark new phase. And government fails to provide preparation funds after Nepal qualifiers for T20 World Cup. Secretary Khadka reveals receiving only 17.5 million Nepali rupees out of the promised 50 million. Welcome back. After prolonged negotiations between the ruling coalition partners Nepali Congress and CPN-UML, the government has appointed economist Biswa Paudel as the governor of Nepal Rastra Bank. The cabinet made the decision 42 days after the position became vacant, making Paudel the 18th governor of the Nepal Rastra Bank. The newly appointed governor of the Nepal Rastra Bank, Biswa Paudel, is a 2010 graduate of the University of California, Berkeley. He has served as an economic advisor to the International Labour Organization and possesses expertise in both history and economics. Paudel also led the National Planning Commission, having been appointed as its vice chair on 27th of July 2021. In the last election, Biswa Paudel resigned from his post in the Nepali year of 2079 after contesting as a Nepali Congress candidate from Chitwan constituency 1, where he was ultimately defeated. Since then, he has been teaching in Kathmandu University and was appointed to the Governor Recommendation Committee by the government. According to an agreement between Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and Nepali Congress President Sher Bahadur Deuba, the Congress proposed Paudel for the governorship after the resignation of Gunakar Bhatta was not accepted and Neelam Dhungana continued as acting governor. Following the proposal, Paudel resigned from his position as a member of the Governor Recommendation Committee. Dr. Biswa Paudel has taken the helm of Nepal Rastra Bank at a time when economic stagnation persists. Banks hold access, liquidity and consumer demand in the market is low. The country is facing the risk of being placed on the grey list by the Financial Action Task Force, FATF, while domestic and foreign investment continue to lag, presenting significant challenges for the new governor's leadership.
The newly appointed governor of Nepal Rastra Bank faces the significant challenge of revitalizing the nation's sluggish economy. While controlling inflation and managing foreign exchange reserves don't pose immediate problems, bringing dynamism to the economy and escaping the FATF's grey list are crucial responsibilities. Currently, inflation is under control at just 3.39%. Furthermore, foreign exchange reserves stand at over 2.4 trillion Nepali rupees, sufficient to cover imports for approximately 14 months.
पार्टीको झोले तपाई हुनुभयो भने खाली मैले यो काम गर्दा मेरो पार्टीलाई के हुन्छ भन्ने मात्रै हेरे पनि उले यो ग्रे लिस्ट उसको अर्को वर्ष हुने ग्रेजुएसन सोच्न सक्दैन स्वतन्त्र होला मान्छे चेतनशील मान्छेको आस्था हुन्छ 84 सालमा भोट खसाल्दा कहाँ खसाल्ने त्यो उहाँको हकको कुरा हो तर मौद्रिक नीति बैंकिङ नीति परिचालन गर्दा विनिमय दर नीति परिचालन गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ पार्टीको मुख्य हेरेर होइन तथ्याङ्क हेरेर.
However, the new governor's main challenge lies in formulating and successfully implementing a monetary policy that aligns with the budget to stimulate the sluggish economy. At a time when principal and interest payments on disbursed loans are irregular, a policy solely focused on increasing lending risks a further rise in non-performing loans. Therefore, the governor must prioritize a monetary policy that energizes the economy. This policy should be determined by the nation's needs rather than the political party in power. Another critical aspect is the government's plan to exit the Financial Action Task Force's grey list within the next 2 years. This prioritizes strict monitoring of funds entering the country from abroad. The new governor is also responsible for preventing suspicious funds, potentially disguised as investments, from entering under pressure from specific political parties or leaders. Failure to do so could not only prevent Nepal from exiting the grey list, but also risk being blacklisted. Nepal first landed on the grey list in 2008. After failing to make necessary improvements, it narrowly avoided being blacklisted in 2012 with the assistance of the International Monetary Fund, eventually being removed from the grey list in 2014, again with IMF support. Businesses are demanding a halt to the working capital loan guidelines, while the International Monetary Fund has also been questioning the utilization of credit. It is the governor's responsibility to reassure international bodies, overcome the economic slowdown in the country, and provide sound advice to the government for this purpose. A report by Sudhil Pokhrel.
Amid speculations that the government may raise customs taxes in the upcoming budget, business persons have significantly increased the import of electric vehicles. Over 1,000 EVs that have completed customs procedures are currently being held at the Toba dry port. Importers claim the vehicles were brought in to meeting growing consumer demand.
Nepal is experiencing a major surge in electric vehicle imports. The Department of Customs reports that 2,000 electric vehicles entered the country last month, a notable jump from 1,422 units during the same period a year ago. This accelerated pace is largely driven by businesses looking to preempt anticipated increases in customs duties on electric vehicles in the upcoming national budget.
हामीले चोबारको ड्राई पोर्टमा चाहिँ यो व्यापार सम्बन्धी चाहिँ क्रियाकलाप गर्नको लागि चाहिँ यो आन्तरिक टर्मिनल भनेर बनाएको छौं त्यहाँ आएर यहाँ बसेका छन् हामीले चाहिँ व्यवस्थित रूपले चाहिँ यहाँ व्यवस्थापन गरिरहेको हो अब अहिले चाहिँ तपाईको यो चाइनाबाट यो रसुवा र तातोपानी नाका हुँदै यो भन्सार जाँच पास भइसकेका सवारी चाहिँ अहिले 1050 वटा चाहिँ यहाँ छन्
Over 1,000 electric vehicles are currently held at the Choba dry port, awaiting customs clearance. Customs officials indicate that approximately 10,000 electric vehicles have been imported in the past 10 months of the current fiscal year. Vehicles with power outputs between 51 and 100 kilowatts constitute the majority of these imports. While importers attribute the surge to growing consumer demand, the underlying concern about potential tax revisions remains a key factor.
4-5 सालको डेटा हेर्नुभयो भने पनि यो बेलामा चाहिँ प्राय जस्तो सबै मोडलका गाडीहरू कम्पनीले पनि बिक्री वितरण गर्ने कम्पनीले नयाँ मोडलहरू बनाउने कम्पनीले पनि उहाँहरु सहज रूपमा यात्रा गर्ने भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ यहाँ केही रूपमा अहिले हेर्दाखेरि थुप्रिएका देखिएका हो तर सबै बिक्री वितरण गरेर ल्याएका गाडीहरू
अब हेर्नुस् यो विगत केही दिनदेखि ईवी मा नेपाली जनताको चाहना बढेको छ त्यसको मुख्य कारण त्यो भित्रको फिचर्स एउटा अर्को आजको दिनमा डिजल पेट्रोलको खर्च र त्यसले ईवीबाट कसरी कम गर्न सकिन्छ त्यो हिसाबले पनि त्यो खर्च धान्न सक्ने हिसाबले पनि मान्छेको आकर्षण बढेको हो
Currently, the government imposes a 15% customs duty and 5% excise duty on electric vehicles up to 50 kilowatts. For models between 51 and 100 kilowatts, the rates are 20% customs duty and 15% excise duty. This predictable tax structure, however, may soon change, prompting the recent rush in imports. There is also a clear need for better regulation in the electric vehicle market. Despite commitments to fixed retail prices before import, some dealers are reportedly selling vehicles at significantly higher markups, signaling a gap in oversight that warrants attention. A report by Suman Panta.
It is time for our segment Public Pulse, so you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before that, let's take a look at yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked you, why did the government fail to provide rescue and relief to Til village in Humla after the flood displaced the entire village population? 76% voted for A, irresponsible government, 14% voted for B, limited capacity, 7% voted for C, inefficient helicopter deployment, and 3% voted for D, prefer not to comment. Now here's today's question. Why has the government not fulfilled its promise of providing 50 million rupees to the Nepali cricket team for World Cup preparations even a year after the match? Your options are A. Apathy towards players, B. Government never fulfills commitments on time, C. Lack of funds, or D. Don't know. The voting is on. Visit www.kantipurtv.com or www.ekantipur.com to share your opinion with us. Welcome back. In our Public Voice segment today, we have asked in several provinces, why is it that second and third tier leaders see problems regarding government operation, but Prime Minister Oli and Congress President Deuba don't? Let's take a look at what they had to say.
जसरी हुन्छ सत्ता टिकाएर यिनीहरू गरिखान पल्केका छन् किनभने यिनीहरूमा सत्ता कसरी टिकाउने अनि कसरी खाने कसरी लुट्ने भन्ने यिनीहरूमा लामो अनुभव छ।
नेताले नबुझ्नको कारण तिनीहरू बुढा पनि भइसके तर यिनीहरूले अब यदि हामी छोडौँ भने चाहिँ हामीले फेरि यो त पाउने हैनौँ भनेर पनि नछोडेका होला।
वर्षौंदेखि उहाँहरूले सत्ता मोह र सत्ता भोग गरिरहेको बानीले गर्दा उहाँहरूलाई सत्ता मोहले नै सताएको भएर
कुर्सीकै तातोले हो कि केले हो अब बुझ्नु भएको छैन। उहाँहरूले पनि
कुर्सीको आवेग हुन सक्छ। मैले देखेको देउपा र ओलीले यसलाई मिलाएर लिएर गएर निकास दिनुपर्छ।
यो सबै आफ्ना पार्टीका बिचौलियाहरूलाई बचाउनको लागि हो। यिनीहरू पनि दोस्रो दर्जामा गएर दोस्रो दर्जाका पहिलो दर्जामा आएर सरकारमा बसे भने यिनीहरूले पनि गर्ने त्यही हो।
तीन दलका तीनटै बुढा नेताहरूको यो देशमा यिनीहरूले देश राम्रोसँग चलाउन सक्दैन। यिनीहरू कुनै पनि त्यस्तो क्षमता छैन।
मेन नेताहरू मिलिहाल्नुहुन्छ हैन। अब जति सानो पार्टीहरू कराएर उफ्रेर चिच्याएर केही पनि हुनेवाला छैन।
जवाफ दिनुपर्ने व्यक्ति नेतृत्वमा भएका हुन्छन्, त्यसैले गर्दा जवाफ दिनेले सबैतिर ध्यान नपुर्याएको हुन सक्छ र त्यस्तो देखिएको हो र उनीहरूले चाहिँ सञ्चालनमा ध्यान नदिएको भन्ने चाहिँ लाग्दैन। समस्या देख्न चाहिँ देखेकै हुन्छन्।
आपसी चाहिँ समझदारी नभएर सरकारलाई एउटा चाहिँ तपाईको एउटा गिरोहले घेरेको जस्तो देखिन्छ र यसले गर्दाखेरि भुइँ मान्छेका कुरा हैन जनताको एजेन्डा विकासका सुशासनका मुद्दाहरू चाहिँ सरकारले ठिक तरिकाले सम्बोधन गर्न सकिरहेको छैन।
हामीले राम्रा मान्छे खोज्छौं तर सरकारले किन चाहदैन राम्रा मान्छे भन्दाखेरि बिचौलियाहरूलाई पाल्नको लागि बिचौलिया कमिसन खोरहरूको चाहिँ मिलेमतोमा सरकार बनेको हुनाले।
Welcome back. It is time for Sports Update.
Sports News.
It has been revealed that the Nepali government has not yet provided the full preparation funds it promised after the national cricket team qualified for the ICC Men's T20 World Cup for the first time in 10 years. The government had pledged 50 million rupees for the team's preparation but has only released 17.5 million rupees so far. Secretary of the Cricket Association of Nepal, Can Paras Khadka, confirmed receiving only 17.5 million rupees to date. The government had announced a 50 million rupee prize in accordance with the National Team Award and honor procedure after Nepal qualified for the World Cup. Although the funds were supposed to be released before the World Cup, the Cricket Association has not received the remaining amount, even though almost a year has passed. Meanwhile, Nepali cricket team's leg spinner Sandeep Lamichhane announced on social media that he was no longer part of the central contract before his UK tour. Can has yet to release an official statement on this matter. However, Secretary Khadka stated that a decision would be made after discussions with Sandeep once the UK tour concludes. Now, Nepal is on the verge of a crucial ICC Cricket World Cup League 2 tournament. With the team in a vulnerable position in League 2, fresh discord within the cricket team and Can has once again become apparent. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.